And we are joined now by the triple threat, the guy who's won a Brier World Championship and an Olympic gold medal. Brad, when you see those women there, I know you know them, the Gushue girls and stuff, but does it ever amaze you that all the fans that you have, not just in Newfoundland and Labrador, but also right across Canada, every part of it, and really right around the world wherever they curl. Do you ever get amazed by that?
I do. I'm amazed by it every time I step out on the ice. And the funny thing is, when the Gushue girls started to come to the Brier and support us, I really didn't know them. I've gotten to know them over the last number of years, but to see them at each and every Brier, it's always nice to look up. And I just saw the shot that you showed there on the camera. I remember looking up at them. You know, we were in Regina playing the Brier against Mike McEwen, who was representing Saskatchewan. And it felt pretty lonely. We didn't have the support that we normally have at most Briers. And I remember I made that shot and I looked right up at them because I could see the 6 pink shirts. And that was a fun moment for me.
Well, Brad, I'm sure the fan support has meant so much to you, especially after announcing your upcoming retirement. You're getting set to face off in your final Montana's Brier. So walk us through what it's like balancing those emotions, not only preparing for that, but also looking back at all the memories you've had through a remarkable career.
Yeah, it's been a tough season because you look back at all the things that you've done over the course of your career, and each milestone that you get to throughout the season, you realize this is probably the last time I'm going to be playing this event or doing this. And certainly looking forward to the Brier in St. John's, I'm probably just as nervous and stressed as I am excited. You know, I really don't know how I'm going to handle the emotions because I know they're going to be there. I think it's natural and expected that, I'm going to experience those emotions. But, I'm going to try and focus as much as I can and compete the way I normally do. But I also want to take some moments and really stop and smell the roses because, this is going to be the last Brier. I played in 20 plus of these, and it's going to be a special moment to play it in my home city.
Well, the Gushue girls are retiring as well, so you've got some partnership there. You guys can share some notes. But as Curling Day in Canada here, and I'm sure you can see what's going on behind us here, whether you are a curler like you are, one of the best players in the world, or you're once a week curler like me, what do you think brings us to the game? Everybody at every level of this game. What do you think makes it so popular?
Well, it is the social part. I think when you're out on the ice, there's so many opportunities to engage with the people you're playing against, your own team, sometimes the people on the next sheet. And I always talk about the club setting whenever you go to curling clubs around the country. Like there's special groups and people are willing to help each other out. And it brings that community feel into the sport, probably more than any other sport in this country. And, that's what I love about it. And I'm hopeful I'm going to continue in that throughout the rest of my career is still being engaged with the club and engaged in the curling community.
Well, Brad, you speak about your career, and it has been such a joy to watch you over the decades. I don't want to make you too emotional here, but when retirement does ultimately come, what do you think you're going to miss the most about this sport?
You know what? I'm probably going to miss my teammates and those times on the road that I love so much. But the other things that I'm not going to miss, I'm not going to miss the travel and being away from my family. And the luxury that I do have is my girls are starting to get really heavily involved in the sport, and I want to follow them and support them on their journey. So I think that's going to keep me close to the game. But certainly, when you're with your teammates and you're out on the road, we have so many memories, so many stories from just hanging out in the rooms or doing silly stuff outside of the curling rink that I'm going to miss. But I'm also looking forward to the opportunities that are going to come with my daughters.
And I know spending more time with your family was a big decision in ultimately announcing your retirement, but it has been such a joy watching you all these years, Brad. Thank you so much for joining our broadcast today. We'll continue to cheer you on in this final stretch.
Thanks for having me, and you guys are doing a great job promoting the sport, and keep it going.